In this PowerPoint, we're going to be talking about Chapter 7 in Improving Reading and a research article about comprehending fictional texts. I'm Amy.
I'm Addie.
And I'm Natalie. For our first strategy, we have the character traits map. And so this map is a resource for students to use in order to infer character traits from events in the story. With this worksheet, they're going to be guided to provide the information about the characters. And so on the worksheet, there's a character and then 2 traits that the student will provide by using the supporting evidence from the text that they were reading. The peers in the class will also talk with one another, collaborate, define similarities and differences that they can develop based on different textual evidence. And they will use the supporting evidence to demonstrate their comprehension and understanding for the text by being able to identify the sentence meaning and how it relates to the character. So for our second strategy, we have the message in the battle, and with this, the student's gonna write from the character's point of view a message, and they're gonna use the character's traits, feelings, experiences, and situations for which the character had to be involved in order to develop this message. With this activity, students will demonstrate their knowledge and comprehension of the text by formulating the lessons that the student or the character has learned. And they will also identify the point of view from the characters, so they're going to have to make sure that they can comprehend and understand what the character is going through throughout the text to develop these points of views. They will also distinguish the character's views from the other characters in the text, so they can distinguish which is the character that they're focusing on. And they will be able to identify the theme of the story, and through this understanding the character's views and comprehending the text, they will recognize the message that is portrayed. For our third strategy, we have distinguishing narrator from characters. So the student will be informed on the roles of the narrators through the teacher, and they will use this as a support, which will help them distinguish that the characters and the narrators don't share the same viewpoints and they portray in the story. The worksheet provides students a visual for which they can draw to indicate the differences in saying between the characters and the narrator, and they will summarize what they learned as readers from the narrator's additional information that they provide on top of the character's information. And they'll also be able to identify additional information based on the supports in the text through the narrator.
Okay, so our fourth strategy, the one that we're going to demonstrate after we talk about it a little bit, is using fictional text structure for comprehension, and we're going to do that by talking about having students use book blurbs. So, and this is talked about on page 422. So a book blurb is when students will summarize their understanding of a fictional text that they are reading by completing the book blurb. And a book blurb is a short summary that describes the key ideas of the story, the setting, the characters, plot, and problems of the story. Illustrations can also be used to enhance students' understanding and comprehension. Through this activity, it will assess the students' knowledge on both comprehension of the fictional text the class is reading, but it will also assess their knowledge on key reading vocabulary such as character, setting, and problems. Okay, now we'll demonstrate this. Okay, today in class we are going to finish reading Who Next at Hand by Dr. Seuss. We will be completing a book blurb after doing this, and a book blurb is a short summary of the story that describes the key ideas of the story, the setting, the characters, the plot, and the problem of the story. We'll be writing based on what we read today, and our book blurbs are a way that help us better understand what we read in class, and it assesses our comprehension of the story. We will begin by reviewing our reading vocabulary words that we discussed yesterday, and these will be what we include in our book blurb. So who can tell me the difference between the key idea of a story and the problem of a story?
Yes, Amy. The key idea is the most important thing that the story talks about, but the problem of the story is what's wrong or what needs to be accomplished.
Very good. Can you tell me the difference between what the setting and the characters are?
Yes. The setting is where the story takes place, but the characters are the people in the story.
I think that is a great response. Now we're going to start reading some of our story, but we'll finish it later on in class. Okay, Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam, I am. That Sam I am, that Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like that. I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Okay, good job listening, class. Now it's time to take out our reading journals and write our book blurb. Remember to include the setting, character, problem of the story, and the key ideas. It's okay if you can't remember everything, but try your best. Our book blurb should be able to help someone understand Green Eggs and Ham who's never read the story before. Alright, so let's start working. Okay, good job working, class. Would anyone like to share their book blurb with us? Oh, Amy, you look so excited. Would you like to share?
Yes. So I put down for settings, Sam I am, and then his other friend. I don't know his other friend's name, but
Amy, did you say that was the setting or the characters?
that's the characters.
Oh, okay. Good job.
Oops.
That's okay.
But the setting is in the world of Dr. Seuss.
Oh, good job remembering. What else did you have in your book blurb?
The problem was that Sam's friends doesn't want to try the green eggs and the ham.
Did you find the key idea in the story?
Mm-hmm. The key idea is that you may like something, even if you don't think you will. So you have to try it first.
Oh, great job including all our reading vocabulary words in your book blurb. It'll help you understand all the parts of the story later on when you go back to read it. Good job.
Thanks. So the research article that I found was called The Analysis of the Level of Students' Perception of the Message in Fictive Texts in Fictional Context by Zakira Batur. I've also cited the link as to where I got the research article, and you can access this on the Milner website. So this article was about a study that was concluded about children in 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and 7th grade, and their ability to comprehend fictional texts. So in fictive text, readers add his or her imaginations to the plot of the text, obviously, and children construct their own fictive contexts via fiction texts and through what they read. Children reconstruct the main message and idea of what is supposed to be conveyed in the text. So when they read a fiction text, even though there probably is some sort of plot that the author is trying to get across, because it is fiction, children may construct their own ideas of what the main message is. And these ideas, as I stated before, are most likely different from what the author intended. This study aimed to investigate students from 4th through 7th grade, as I stated previously, and their perceptions of comprehension in fiction texts and creative writing skills. Short fictive texts are more effective than long genres, in respects to comprehension. So, the way that the study worked was that students were asked to read 6 texts, and the messages at the end of each short text were removed. After reading, students wrote down, this is where the creative writing aspect came into play, what they had grasped from the message of each text. 5 different educators read each student's response, and they were also given the original message to compare. Teachers were asked to evaluate the students' perceptions of the message. The original message in fictional texts not exactly perceived by fourth graders. Their perception was a little lower. Fifth graders had a higher level of perception than fourth graders and sixth graders, but this was because their teacher made a class discussion about analysis of fictive text prior to this research being conducted. Sixth grade was not successful in perceiving the messages aimed in fictive texts, but texts were helpful for development of creative writing skills. And seventh grade was obviously the most successful in comprehension and perception of fictive texts.
So through these different strategies we provided, they're all going to support students' comprehension for fictional text. And what's nice about these different strategies is that they all have their unique components that can help individual students. So some may be more visual, where students have like a worksheet and a diagram, or they can draw a picture of the character's responses versus the narrators, or some as like the book blurb as we showed you as an example is more written based. Teachers can modify this however needed for their students, but these strategies are all unique and can benefit each student in a different way.
These strategies would be great to include with your students in tutoring, because most of the books and stories we'll read with them are fictional texts, as that's the majority of what second graders will be reading. So these strategies are great activities that you can work on with your students to help them perceive and comprehend the story as the author wrote it, but along with encouraging their creative side as we're helping them see what they remember and what they think about the story as well.
Thank you for watching, and I hope this video gave you some tips about how to help students comprehend fictional text.